Hey there, Pokemon fans. It's Scott from Paper or Plastic. I'm super excited because today I just received back my first ever, actually my third submission, but it's the first order from PSA that I have received back from cards that I have sent in myself. I've got this fancy box waiting for me to open it up here. It's a little big to set in front here. But I'll open it up off to the side here and let's take a peek. I know I sent in a bunch of Charizards with this. A lot of the Charizards I knew were not perfect, but they were some things that were really cool that had come into the store, and I really wanted to check them out and get them graded, especially one that you'll see pop up here that I'm actually really excited to see again. So this is actually the third PSA order I've submitted. This one was only 20 cards, and pretty good turnaround time right now because of PSA is starting to allow some orders to come back in, and but they were limiting it to 20 cards at this price level, and I have two other orders that one's been there for a nice long time. Look at this goodness that's coming in here. It's a little hard to see, but I will reach in and pull some out and we'll take a looky-loo. Looky-loo? Okay. So, alright. Since I've never received a PSA order for myself back to me, I don't know exactly what it's going to look like on the inside here. It's packed very well. What I'm trying to get to is these two boxes that are hiding in here. Let me just pull them out. Make lots of noise. I was kind of surprised this one came back first, mainly because it was the last one that I was submitted in. The other one that it was sent in at the exact same time, I think it wasn't done yet because you hear this nice thunder in the background there. I think it was not completed yet because that one also had some Dragon Ball Super in the mix along with the Pokemon. Whew, that was a workout to get to this. Nice taped in boxes here. All right. Pretty cool looking PSA logo here. I think I can show that off with my order number. And two different boxes here. Let's pop it open and see what we've got. So I'm going to detach the two boxes here. Hopefully you're enjoying my table of future possible submissions that I can send into PSA. I don't know if they're going to come back 10s or not, but probably not. But one can always hope, right? Wow, this is really nice. Really professionally done. I would hope so, because not cheap to send these in. So I don't know what order I want to do. I think maybe I'll save, if they're in the order that I submitted them in, I'll probably save the guys over there for last. But let's take a peek here. Let's pull one out. Yeah. Okay. Well, we can. Let's start off with a Charizard. This is from base set 2. I was honestly really surprised that I will admit I did cheat ahead of time and look to see what my grades were as soon as they said it was done. This one came back a 5. Excuse me. And I really want to spend some time looking at these and kind of understand what did I not see, or what did they possibly see. And again, some of these I knew were not going to come back perfect. But it's just like, well, why was this one a 5 versus a 7 or a 6 or something like that? Especially because I can see a little bit of corner where there you can, as I shine the light on it, you can see there's a little bend there, and that might have been all it took to get it to be a 5, because the rest of these corners look really clean. I see a little bit of scratching on the surface of the hollow there. So kind of bummed that it came back as a 5, but still pretty cool. And let's see here. Maybe if I go back on this direction. Let's see here. A Snorlax. This one came back as an 8, so that's pretty cool. I was really hoping for 8s or higher on anything that wasn't from the Charizards that I sent in. I mean, obviously I wanted the Charizards to be high. But I was looking mainly at what are some nice quality cards that I can send in. And I wish I wrote down, I forgot to do that with this. When I go to submit these other guys, I'm going to take notes on what I felt like it's going to be. I'll show you what I'm kind of doing now. So there's a Flareon that I'm looking at sending in. And right now, my guess is that it's going to come back as an 8 or a 9. And it's probably considered a light play card. Selling for $9 right now, just as is. And an 8 would come back as maybe about a $60 card. A 9 would come back as a $200 card. So I'm trying to look at the collection and say, is it worth my $50? Because that's currently the lowest price from PSA to send in and have this graded. Well, if I have, let's say I paid $5 for this card. Let's see, because people trade this stuff into the store, but let's even say that I paid full price, $9 for the card, and I put $50 in to have it graded plus shipping. Well, if it doesn't come back as a 9, I'm not doing anything for my store because it's only going to sell for about $60. So I'm trying to do my due diligence and research on this stuff, like with this Glaceon. I think it could be an 8 to a 9, but again, it could be $50 or $100 at a 9, and prices are all over the place. As things age or Pokemon goes up and down in popularity, prices are going to change. So I'm hoping that PSA will start opening up some of their lower tier pricing soon, and we'll be able to start submitting some of that stuff again. So here is, this is a beautiful, this came back as a 9, this Zekrom from Legendary Treasures. It's so shiny, it's hard to see with my lights and everything like that, but this came back really nice. And so, you always look at the corners. PSA looks at 4 different things: the corners, the edges, the surface, and then the centering. So, I look at that little splotch there on that corner. So I find it interesting. I'm trying to figure out, what makes this a 9 versus the Snorlax being an 8. The Snorlax, there might be some surface wear and tear, stuff like that going on. Maybe the corners are just a little bit more worn, things like that. But I can't. Obviously everyone wants 10s, but on a card from almost 10 years ago for finally getting slabbed to come back as a 9, very happy with that. I actually had 2 of them. This one came back as a 7. So what I'm really intrigued by is what's different. Can I tell? Well, oh yeah, there's a little bit more wear on this corner. The corners are the easiest thing to pick out and stuff like that. Maybe the centering, this left-right centering doesn't look quite as good as on this one. So it's really interesting to see. The front of the card on both of them looks super clean. So, yay 9, boo 7. But, you know, this is a learning experience. Again, this is my first submission that I've done to PSA, or that I've received back. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Gem Mint 10, Alt Art Rayquaza. Now that is nice. I was really hoping that since this was a brand new set that, you know, we just got the card and all that thing, all the things associated along with that, that we would be able to pull in a 10 or something like that along this. Looks super clean. The back looks great. I don't see anything wrong with it, and PSA didn't either. And I know a 10 is somewhere around $500, $550, something like that for the Alt Art VMAX Rayquaza, which is pretty sweet. I've got a few things that I'm hoping to send in soon, like this Rapid Ash. I believe this one's an Alt Art 2 of the Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. Hopefully that'll come back as a 10. I know somewhere on my table here I've got a Tyranitar V in the back here. That's the Alt Art. The Sylveon V. I believe that one's an Alt Art. So lots of cool stuff that I really want to see get graded. While I'm at it, looks like box 2. I'm opening up box 2 real quick because let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah. So I'm kind of surprised that they say that the limit is 20 for sending in when 19 is what their box holds. But you know what? That's the one I was going to hang on to for last. So I guess I should have just kept the box off to the side. All right. Keep going along here. This is a nice Glaceon Majestic Dawn from 2008. Came back as an 8. Obviously, you're always hoping for a little bit better. But realistically, getting an 8 is not that bad. Not that bad, especially because I think I see a little bit of surface wear there. Centering doesn't look all that perfect. So really, really cool. Now this Skyla, I did not really see a whole lot of them. I haven't looked up the population reports on her. But when I was doing research, I did not see many graded versions of this card. So, and I think as we go through this box, I don't think any of these cards, maybe 1 or 2 are going to be under $100. Every other one of these cards is minimum of 100 up to 500. If I believe that Rayquaza might be the highest price out of all of these. But I was really kind of surprised that this one hasn't been graded because it's a beautiful card. I really like the full art treatment that they give these cards. Let's see, I think I've got a stack of those that I'm currently looking through. I'm not as big of a fan of the rainbows like that. I've got a bunch, but more like these. Schoolboy and Barry and those Misty's favorite. These are beautiful. I absolutely love how these cards look. Man, there we go. Trying to avoid all of the lighting issues there. Needless to say, we have a whole bunch of Pokemon that we are working on, looking to see if we're going to get them graded or not, or just sell them in the store raw, things like that. This is stuff that we've been bringing in over the years. Oh, this is beautiful. Every time I see, I wish they would do this reverse foiling more often. Look at that shine. That is gorgeous on this Squirtle. My nephew was just in at the store the other day, and his favorite Pokemon is Squirtle, and I know he would be ecstatic to see this card. Unfortunately, it's a little bit above his budget. But this is a reverse foil from Legendary Collection. Came back as a 7. I was hoping for an 8 here, but maybe there's something in the surface that I just couldn't see that would make it as a 7. But that's still really cool. I have hiding down here a Dratini that I'm getting ready to send off soon. But again, I still have to go through and process. What do I think it's going to grade at? Is it worth the price point to send it in for grading? And things like that. So we will make all of these cards available for sale. It's just a matter of time before we get them out to market. This one I was a little bit disappointed in. I have 2 of these. This is the one. This one graded worse than the other. I don't really deal a whole lot with the Japanese Pokemon cards. This is a Blaine's Charizard, and it came back as a 4. And this is the one I wanted to spend. I'll probably spend a good time. Oh, there we go. That's what's wrong with it. I did not see that when I sent it in. There was a big, huge ding in the card on the back. Yeah, that would definitely put it down to a 4. Anytime you think you're spending enough time to go through all your cards and making sure that they're going to come back looking with a good grade. But at the same time, I'm like, it's Charizard. Might as well slab it up. And I'm sure someone out there will be just as happy to have a 4, especially because the damage is on the back, not on the front of the card, and he can get it for a good price. I still think a 4 still sells for around $100. Well, I guess we'll find the other Japanese one. It's somewhere. Oh, I'm going to skip ahead, or I'll come back to you, Garchomp. Here's the other one. This one came back as 6. So that's at least much better than seeing a 4 come across. It's always disappointing to get something that low. Interesting. I didn't think that the cards moved while they were in the case, but again, I've had PSA cards for sale and things like that. This is the first time I've sent them in and paid for the grading myself, so I haven't really spent as much time looking at this in as much detail. So, but another Blaine's Charizard, Japanese version that came back as a 6. Now I'll go back to the Garchomp. I'm a little bummed this one was a 5. I thought I did a little bit better of an assessment on it, but I might have. Yep, there's binder ding right there. That's why I got the hit. One of the things for Pokemon collectors, if you're going to put it in a 3-ring binder, do not overstuff your binder or use something that is not a 3-ring binder. Because right there, you can see that little dent, and that's from a binder sheet. Let's see if I have one here. I apologize, it has some baseball cards on it, but I don't have it in a binder. Let's see here. So when you've got it in a 3-ring binder, and that's it, I bet this will even line up. You can see the binder ding on the front there. See how it lines up with that hole? And it probably might even line. It looks like it was in the bottom spot on somebody's sheet. But when you go to put the sheet into your binder and you close the binder quickly, that part of the card is going to be smashed right on the ring. And if at all possible, if you're looking for long-term collectability and you're not going to be sending them off for grading, don't put them in a 3-ring binder, or use like a D-ring. The D-ring binders are, and don't overstuff your D-ring. make sure that all the pages are gently put on that right side, and then close your binder. Because this significantly lost value in that Garchomp just because of how it was stored. This is a cool one. A Flareon Gold Star. I was really hoping for a higher grade than a 7 on this. Man, I was bummed because the corners look fantastic. I'm still a little puzzled as to what they saw. Maybe because these rounded corners, to me, I've seen that all the time on Pokemon cards. So I don't know if that's what they're looking at. Maybe there were some surface issues. I don't know, but I really thought this was going to be stronger than a 7. Still cool. Still cool. I actually have a number of other gold stars I need to send in. I'll flash them across you at some point during this video. But I did have a Regirock gold star that we sent in. Came back as a 6, which is even more frustrating because it's just like, oh, nope, binder ding. That's absolutely what killed it. And, I think I knew that one going in. I'm pretty sure I knew about that. And maybe the Flareon had something similar. I don't see it. But, yeah, those binder dings, they will get you every time. But it's still cool to see a gold star. Quite the chase card. Especially if you've got the Rayquaza. Alright, this one I was happy with. A Power Keepers Charizard. Came back as a 9. Really pretty card. Let's take a look at the back there. Corner's pretty good. I mean, if the little white there on the corners went away, this probably is the only thing that took it away from a 10. Centering looks pretty solid. I always love seeing Charizard. And there's still more Charizards to come. Don't worry. How about a black and white Plasma Storm Charizard? Now this one we knew it had some damage down here. I even with that damage, I'm like, this is just too good of a card not to get slabbed up. Came back as a 5. We were like, the only thing that's wrong with this card was just the little damage down here at the bottom. Everything else is super clean, and it's maybe a little bit off center too. But it was never going to be, no matter what else was wrong with the card, it was never going to pass whatever the damage down at the bottom of the card reduced it down to, which in this case dropped it to a 5. So a little bit of a bummer. But still a fun card. I don't see that one come through all that often, so I was happy to bring it in. We also had an English version of Blaine's Charizard. This one came back also as a 6. Now I'm starting to wonder if I got hit by binder dings and I just wasn't paying enough attention. There might be a little bit of corner wear there. Man, it's really tough. You really need to analyze your cards and keep them safe. If you want to get them graded and have them come back nice and clean, really take care of your stuff. I can see some surface scratches on the Charizard. I plan on getting these into graded bags just to keep the plastic clean on the slabs themselves, because you want a nice clean viewing experience. Tell you what, since we're almost done with this box, I will get it out of the way so you can enjoy some of the view of the cards underneath. So I have a reverse foil Charizard here. Came back as 7. I think if I remember right, when I was sent this one in, that I didn't think it would do super great. I think I was guessing it would be a 7. So, but yeah, I'm definitely going to be taking more notes as we send in more cards. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of surface damage right there. Just a little pinprick. but that's enough to knock it down to a 7. And that's probably the key thing that's keeping this from being a 9, to be honest, because just very little corner stuff going on. Maybe an 8, but moving on, I had a second English Blaine's Charizard. Apparently, this was my favorite card to send in for this batch. Came back as a 5. And it's got a... Yeah, it definitely has some edge wear there. I don't know. I think I was hoping for a 6 to a 7 on this. Okay, there's a little crease down there that I don't remember seeing. Man, every time you think you've seen enough. I want to take... I do have a video that I recorded, and I look forward to replaying it. My very first submission that we've been waiting a year on, that we sent in a PSA, 190 cards, and lots of really cool stuff in there. And I look forward to getting those cards back. Should be within the next couple of months. And I believe I talked a lot about what grades I think to expect in there. Maybe we'll post that video up soon, especially once we know that the grading is coming back soon. So here is a original base set Charizard. It's got the shadow. It's not first edition or anything like that. Just a plain old Charizard. And I was like, I gotta get this thing graded. I don't know what it's gonna come back as. It wasn't gonna be great. It came back as a 5. Not surprised. But it's still, hey, it's Charizard, right? So why not? Lots of edge wear, things like that. But still cool to slab up a Charizard. In fact, I don't know if I can quick grab it or not. Trying to remember where I stashed it. Here we go. I'm gonna get this one graded. Even though it is clearly damaged, you can see a big, huge crease right along the center. There's a crease there, crease all over the place. The back of the card, very well loved Charizard from a base set. I think, does PSA have a 0? If not, it's definitely going to come back as a PSA 1. But there are people that want to get all of them, PSA 1 through 10. So we'll definitely get this one slabbed up and hopefully make someone a happy customer out there. But this Charizard came back as a 5. Not too bad. Before I get to the last card, the grade on the last card is not fantastic. So if you're here for a PSA 10, you can stop watching. You can go about your day. But I'm going to flash off a few things that I do plan on sending in for grading soon. And I look forward to seeing what they come back as. Let's see here. I've got cards everywhere, obviously. I look for, there's got lots of full arts up here. I have 4 of these. I think it's 4 of them. Charizard VMAX from, I believe, Champion's Path. 4 of those to send in. We'll see what those come back as. Gotta make sure I put them all on camera, though. So, some nice stuff there. So these were originally still in the bag from these Toys R Us Charmanders. I am really hoping these come back as 10s, because those are fantastic cards. There's a couple more Charizards hiding down here, some Entei's, all kinds of gold bordered cards, things like that. Sending off this Snorlax soon, another Charizard. I think it might come back as a 9, so I'm actually really excited about that. We'll see. This Charizard looks really clean. There's just a little bit of surface scratch there. I don't know how much that's going to affect things. We'll find out. And look at that. Rayquaza, Gold Star. Pikachu, Gold Star. Really looking forward to seeing what these are going to grade at. It's going to cost quite a bit to get them graded. Nice shining Magikarp. Alt Art Charizard V. And even one of the secret Charizard V Maxes. Lots of really nice shiny cards. Looking forward to getting them graded. I'm not hanging on to these for personal collection's sake. We do have a storefront in Shorewood, Illinois, where we're going to sell a lot of these. I'm not going to keep them at the store a lot. We'll probably advertise them online and get them locked up, put away. Nice safe spot, and but let some of the customers know that we have it and things like that, and then move them. We just opened up an account on Whatnot. We plan on going live there, and doing some auctions and things like that to pull cards. So be on the lookout for that. All right, I've stalled long enough. The last card that I wanted to show off is the first one I personally have had come through the store that I can remember. I wish that this Shadowless Charizard had a first edition symbol right there, but it doesn't. But this is a Shadowless base set Charizard. Came back as a 4. I didn't care what this one came back as. I was sending this in no matter what. And looking at it now, well, there's a little crease there. I kind of understand why it came back as a 4. Obviously, you're always hoping for something better. But still really cool to have a Charizard, especially a Shadowless. Maybe someday the store will pick up a first edition Shadowless, and we'll get that graded. But that right there is the 20th card that we got back, folks. And I look forward to seeing what our next batch of 20 includes, because this was a lot of fun. Like I said, the next batch was a mixture of Pokemon and Dragon Ball. And we'll see if we can get some more recordings going and going through that. And I look forward to making more of these and showing them off. I hope you enjoyed checking it all out. We do plan on, like, if we don't grade a lot of these cards, we do plan on making them available as the raw cards as singles and have them in stores. Because I don't know if all of these are going to be ones that we want to get graded, or if you're not looking for max collection purposes, you're not looking for the 10s and things like that. I know this is one of our stacks that I'm pretty sure this is one of the stacks of just some things that we're planning on bringing back because they weren't in the greatest of shape. But I thank you all for watching, and go collect them all. Bye.